This is the final match for the Hearthstone.fi Monday Night Community Tournament number 26. It will be Winch from the Czech Republic versus Random from Germany. I will tell the players to start playing and we'll get right into the action. Both players have drawn a pretty aggressive lineup of cards. The Random probably has the more consistent lineup of mid-range decks in this matchup. Winch has got Face Hunter, Zoo Warlock, and Mech Mage, which are all based on just aggressively pushing on. While Random has got the Combo Druid, Oil Rogue, and the Zoo Warlock as well. This is a best of 5 series in the Conquest format, as have all the previous matches been as well. Double Void Walker, that is a good start for a Zoo Warlock against the Face Hunter. They will be able to stop the assault from the Leper Gnomes and other smaller minions. You might actually even see a coined out Void Walker this turn. Yep, there we go. So this Haunted Creeper on turn 2 will be perfectly on curve, and the Defender of Argus hopefully will have targets for turn 4. Interestingly enough, Random only has one Golden Void Walker, which means that his Warlock is somewhere at maybe level 40 or 50. Yeah, below level 50. Props to him for not playing too much Warlock back in the days when it was really strong. The Knife Juggler is a bit more greedier than the Haunted Creeper. The Haunted Creeper would probably contest the small minions better, and the proc from the Death Rattle would proc these double knives from the Juggler, but you're holding on to 2 taunts. There's not too much of a risk for the Knife Juggler to be cleared this turn. The Bow is a pretty nice top deck to take care of the second Void Walker. And turn 4, let's see, the Hunter player does have the Mad Scientist just waiting to be played. If he ignores the Mad Scientist and just goes for the face damage with the Knife Juggler, which is probably the most likely option here, then the Face Hunter is actually making value trades, while you, as the Zoo player, are trying to go for the aggression. So that's not a good position for the Face Hunter to be in. You would want to be the aggressor in this matchup. Force the Warlock to take out your minions and not the other way around. Of course, this way you do get the Explosive Trap up, which means that the board from the Warlock currently is completely dead. But since he's holding on to the Defender of Argus, this Knife Juggler will be saved with it. There's really not much reason for you to play anything else right now. If you go for the Void Caller, then you want to use these minions for the trades against the minions that the Hunter plays, and you're not attacking to the face at all. I do understand, I do respect the decision. This takes out the charge from the Eagle Horn Bow that he would have gotten from the Explosive Trap. It's a pretty good situation to be in, except against a card like Unleash the Hounds, because this way you're just boosting the damage output of the opposing Hunter. It'll be interesting to see, as the Hunter, he should use these to go for the face, because if he does the trades with the 1-1s, you're just doing the Warlock's job for them, and that you should not be in that situation. Using the 1-1s to clear out the dogs, using the Void Caller to proc the first Explosive Trap, that would actually make a lot of sense when it comes to the damage from the Explosive Trap. It's just gonna get absorbed by the single Void Caller. You can even go for the Flame Imp into Defender of Argus on this turn already. after it, and you'll be left with double 3 hit point minions, which will both deal a significant amount of damage to the hunter when it goes for the clear with the Eagle Horn Bow. And it protects your face from the sudden burst that, yeah, face hunters are a bit notorious for. Outer Decal will go down to the Void Caller. Naturally, the Void Caller has the worst death rattle. And quick shot to take out the other taunt. Which means he'll probably utilize hero power and just go for face damage with his bow. Let's see if random has lethal next turn. 5 damage on the board. 10 from Doomguard. 14 from Overwhelming. Juggle it for... Nope, doesn't have the mana for it. So power Overwhelming Doomguard is 9, 11, 14. 3 damage off lethal this turn. So had even one of those taunted minions from previous turns survived, he would have actually been in a situation where he would have been able to push lethal. 3 from the attack needs 11 damage. Lyra is 6, leaves 2 ups. 6 plus 2 is 8, not enough. Wolf Rider, 3, 9, not enough. 3, 5, 7 from the trap, maybe. Not enough. That's definitely the biggest possible damage burst you can do is with Leroy. 4 mana for 5 damage is not bad either. 4 for 5 means 3 up, 10, 12. You're 2 off lethal. 3, 6, 8, 10. 4 off lethal, sorry. Going for Leroy means you're going for the explosive play, so you don't die next turn. For the Warlock player, it's a bit difficult. Yeah, you can play one of those Imp Gang bosses already. There's no downside to playing it, except for Unleash the Hounds. If you play it and there's an Unleash the Hounds, there's going to be 5 plus 8, 10, and he only needs 2 from the hand. So if it does not play the Imp Gang boss, then that's 9 plus 2 from the hand. Or 3 from the hand, actually. So a single Abusive Sergeant would not be enough. So I would understand why he would not play the Imp Gang boss, but on the other hand, if you play the Imp Gang boss, would you be able to push lethal next turn somehow? No, you wouldn't. It's just 2 damage. It's not enough. This is going to be interesting, because if he now top decks the Unleash the Hounds, it's going to be lethal. Ah, there we go. Going for the 1/1s. That's 3 on board. Oh, kill command. I believe that is it. 3, 5, yep, 10. That is it.
Get in there, fight, maggot.
Even if he had not tapped, it's still... Oh, yeah, it would have been enough with the attack from the bow, so it was actually irrelevant whether or not he tapped. Hey, there we go. Random. Loses against the Face Hunter Onslaught from Winch, which means that Winch has either the Mech Mage or the Zoo Warlock. And for those matchups, I think that Warlock's Zoo Mirror would be okay. Maybe the combo druid.
You asked for it.
Alright, so the Zoo Warlock versus the Mech Mage. They should be in favor of the Zoolock if he's able to keep the pressure up early on, clear the Mech Mage's side of the board completely, and then provide enough card advantage from his hero power without going below 15 or 16 hit points, which is the critical area against Mech Mages. Well, the Winch's hand is definitely garbage. Untonitis and those combo cards that you need the mechs for, and no mechs whatsoever, so it's not looking good. Had he kept even the Annoyotron, the situation would have been better. It's either one of the 2-drops or, yep, or 2 1-drops. That Knife Juggler is risky because of the fact that if they have a Frostbolt, it will be used on the 3-2. And if he had used the Flame Imp plus the Void Walker, it would actually mean that the Flame Imp would be removed with the Frostbolt instead of the higher value Knife Juggler. This is greedier to play the Knife Juggler, but if it pays off, you will be able to push a lot more aggression onto the board from the juggles. So I understand why he did the play. The light spawn from the unstable portal is a bit slow, but still better than playing a vanilla Tinkertown Technician, which would just be a 3-3. This is at least a 5-5 without a silence. Imp Gang Boss, that might start, yeah, that might really start churning out the 1-1s if they get the light spawn into a situation where you'd be able to utilize it to its maximum potential. And going for the face damage in this situation, I understand it because you're already ahead on the board, way ahead on the board actually. And using all those minions to just go for the face and force the Mech Mage to... Oh. The reason why he went for the trade with the 3-1 Juggler is the hero power. And the hero power alone. Nothing else in the world would really validate that play. He was afraid that the opposing mage would go for the hero power advantage. Because this Flame Imp is less value than the Knife Juggler in all other situations. Alright, the Pine-Sense Summoner will be taken out by the Imp Gang boss, and we'll get more juggles from the 1-1 Imps. You could even play the Nerubian Egg this turn. I think you should play the Nerubian Egg because it is safe. With its Death Rattle, and the Doom Guard is in your hand stuck already, and you don't want to be discarding any more cards than you absolutely must. Due to the fact that Winch has not been able to draw into any of his crucial early game mech cards, I think Random is just steamrolling this match. That is a really insignificant spare part as well. Implosion onto the 4-4. Is it lethal with... No, it's not lethal with the Doom Guard yet. If you go for the Implosion onto the 4-4, hope that it hits 2 or 3. 3 would actually be the best, because then you could go for the Mortal Coil play. If you Implosion the 2-3 Snow Jugger, then most results would actually be fairly okay. Value guaranteed from the Mortal Coil. The Juggle doesn't hit. I think he actually should not have... Well, doesn't matter. No targets for the Mortal Coil now. And since he got the Implosion for 4, it doesn't actually matter that he did not... or that he used the 1-1 to clear out the 2-1, because had he been... or gotten a low roll... Oh, there we go. Which realizes there's no coming back. So it is now 1-1. The Hunter from Winch taking the win and the Zoo Warlock from Random taking the win. Druid and Rogue versus an option of Mage or Warlock. Since you're probably going to be facing the Mage again, I would go for the Druid play. Druid is safer than the old Rogue. Old Rogue versus Mech Mage, this is a bad matchup. Unless you get the early game combo cards like SI7 and Coin, you're gonna have a bad time. Well, SI7 is there. There's the prep to go with the sprint as well, and the deadly poison to utilize with the dagger mastery, so there might be a chance. But when you look at Winch's hand, it's definitely not as bad as it was in the last or previous matchup. Dagger mastery up, not attacking, would make a lot of sense. Deadly poison into Blade Flurry at some stage of the game. You could even argue for prep Deadly Poison SI7 Agent next turn. But that's a bit of a waste of cards just to activate the combo 2 damage. Winch utilizing the acceleration from the from the Mech Warper as fast as possible, as he should. All the other options were not so great. Just Frostbolting in the face to prevent 1 damage or potential 3 from the Deadly Poison combo. That's not really that great. The Fan of Knives would enable your SI7 agent to clear out the Mech Warper, and that would actually be pretty significant. It would also maybe take out the Snow Chugger. Yeah, attack the face, use the Blade Flurry this turn. That's even better. It's only 3 minions, but the Snow Chugger is really crucial to be cleared out. It is absolutely have to be destroyed because of the fact that you're a rogue, and if you don't... If you're not able to utilize your weapon, the situation is very grim for you.
Job's done.
Prepping the sprint. Yep, it's due to the AoE advantage from the rogue. It was actually able to push the advantage in its favor, even with the Pilot Shredders coming down on consecutive turns with the Mana Worm. I believe that the rogue has got all the tools they require to handle it. Comboing Eviscerate? Maybe. If you go Prep Eviscerate, that's 5 mana left. There's nothing really to play for. You would go for the Hero Power, see what comes up from the 4-3, and then play down the SI7, maybe? Ah, prepping the Fan of Knives. This means he will be playing the SI7 to clear out the Shredder. Anyway.
This guy's toast.
Now let's see what you get. It is a Knife Juggler, which would be a pretty good value card for the Mech Mage if it's left alive. I guess the Eviscerate is a bit of a clutch throw right now. You have to play it to destroy the 3-2 and before it gets more value. Yep. It's not nice, you don't want to be using Eviscerate on just a 2 mana minion that was spawned from Death Rattle, but you cannot leave that 3-2 up. It is just too big of a threat. Now, with the 3-3 SI7 Age on the board, the Mana Worm is not an option to be played. Unless you use the Frostbolt to clear out the 3-3. And in this case, you're using the Hero Power as well instead of the Shredder. So, your board presence is slightly smaller, not as sticky, but you get rid of the opposing minion before the rogue has any chance to buff it or do any shenanigans with it. Yeah, it's a tough spot.
So many options.
I believe that the Earthen Ring Edwin isn't that bad. It's just a 4/4 for 3 mana. It's not as great as you would want it to be, but it provides some sort of presence. The other alternative would have been to play the Pilot Shredder plus Hero Power. But the chances for the mage to deal with their Shredder are much higher than the mage being able to handle those 2 minions on the board at the same time. So, tough to tell which play is better. You're not really hoping for a really great big Edwin in this matchup anyway. Fireball being forced to be used on Edwin. And clearing the board. Interestingly enough, that this line of plays from the mage with the board clears and your willingness to go for the board control options makes it so that the game is now in favor of the rogue player. The rogue player has been able to buy himself enough time to get the key parts of his combination. Deckhand, or Oil and Flurry are all there. Does have the answers to these big plays in the sap plays as well. With the Rogue, you're just going for the face damage with the 4-3. You can go for the sap onto the 7-7, maybe even Fan of Knives the 1-1s if you want. Yep. This is a bit of a risk. Those 1-1s might end up clearing. And they do end up clearing. But you do get the draw from the Fan of Knives. This Nat... It's gonna be a bit of a problem for the Tinker's play with the Sudsy Deckhand. You don't really want to buff your Nat Pagel,
So many
because then you won't be able to attack with the buffed Deckhand. And it's gonna stick on the board, quite surely. I don't see Winch using any sort of removal on just the Nat Pagel. He's gonna ignore it and go for the face with the Doctor Boom. But for the mana, the Antique Healbot is the best option of all of these cards. If you're gonna go for the Fan of Knives, you're not gonna sap away the 7-7 boom again. It's not gonna do the whole 8 heal, but it's still 5, it's not too bad. It's quite safe. Now with the Oil, Deckhand is 5, 4, 9, 13 damage from his hand right now. 13 from hand plus 3 from board. That's 16, 3 off from lethal. Not quite there, but very, very close already. And since he attacked with the Wicked Knife, it means they'll have to redo the Dagger Mastery anyhow for the combo to go off. But there's enough mana for it. That's 7 mana plus 2 from the hero ability.
What to do?
So he's gonna have to use at least one turn to go for the damage push before it. Interestingly enough, he decides to use the boom on the 3-3 instead of going for the face damage. I guess you kind of want to clear the board completely from the rogue so they're not able to utilize their oils completely. But how are you going to win this game? Well, the way you're going to win this game is by denying the rogue the option to push you into their lethal range. But oil rogues have a famous lethal range of 21 damage, I believe. So you're already below that. If you're playing to win, then you would have been the aggressor, actually. I believe that's the way to go. Turn 9, you could go South Sea, Tinker, Deadly Poison, Blade Flurry. Just absolutely destroy the opposing side of the board. Everything out of these minions would die. He would push 5. 14, yeah, you still have to redo the weapon. And now that you're redoing the weapon, then I guess you will not be playing the South Sea Deckhand. Yep. And instead going for the Nat Pagel attack. And then Blade Flurrying for 6. Yep. With the Spider Tanks, Lockboard Gnomes, and Time Rewinders, there's absolutely nothing that the mage can do. Ah, Peacekeeper. Well, Peacekeeper denies the Pagel from being +3 to going to just +1. So if the rogue does not draw into any kind of damage, it would be enough. But unfortunately for the for Winch though, the deckhand plus hero power will already be enough with just the 1 attack value and add Pagel as well. So it's looking like random. We'll take the second match. Yep, definitely we'll take the second match. And be up 2-1 versus Winch, despite Winch's early 1-0 lead with his Hunter. One more win for our German player will mean that he will take home the 50 euros and 10 WCS points that is online in this tournament right here. This lovely Monday. Not quite evening anymore, it's actually closer to midnight right now, but still, it's been a great tournament to run. And random's double combo Druid versus a Winch's Mech Mage. We're gonna see the Boom and the Drake go out. The Wild Growth probably held. The Belcher is a really great card in this matchup, but is it too slow for you to hold on to in your starting hand? With the Wild Growth, I don't think so. It's a valid option to hold on to. Winch's hand, on the other hand, pretty much a no-brainer.
I am ready.
You are gonna hold on to the 1-drop and the 2-drop. Getting the turn 3 Tinkertown is also very, very good. No reason to coin out the Wild Growth yet. You wait on turn 2, play the Wild Growth, you get 3 to the base, then you can hope for a card with 4 or less mana cost. And if you don't get anything for turn 3, then you're gonna hold on to the coin to play the Belcher on turn 4. Yep, growth. Already holding on to a combo. Now all you gotta do is wrest control back from the Mech Mage onto your side of the board, and that's easier said than done. And with the freeze on your face, you can't even use their hero power to take out this Clockwork Gnome. There we go, coining out the Belcher just as planned. Turn 5 is looking pretty grim for the Druid player right now. Unless he top decks into another Sludge Belcher, that would be pretty much the best. With the 3-5 in the way, using hero power plus the Tinkertown Technician makes a lot of sense, because you're still able to utilize either Annoyatron or Mana Wurm onto the board. Personally do like playing the Annoyatron because it saves your Tinkertown Technicians and Clockwork Gnomes if you go for the 2-3 onto the slime. He should go for the value with the Snowjugger into the slime, so you can utilize your Clockwork Gnome for as much face damage as possible. And this Annoyatron really is able to stop off the attacks from the hero power. Now this board, and if he had not played the Time Rewinder, would have been really, really liable to be swiped off. Now that he got the Time Rewinder Tinkertown Technician back into his hand, it's not as bad if the swipe happens, but it's still pretty bad. Keeper of the Grove is a nice top deck, denying the freeze from the Chugger and trading at least 1 for 1. Portal, hero power, and this Keeper of the Grove will be dead. Oh, Boar Control. Wow. Pretty much the lowest impact card right there next to Wisp that you can get. Well, if he goes for the lethal damage with the Stone Tusk Boar at some stage, then that'll be swell, but quite unlikely. Ignoring this Keeper of the Grove and just going for the face means that he will get more value by going for the Clockwork Gnome. In theory, you could go for the Stone Tusk Boar and the 3-3 Mana Wurm to clear out the 2-4, so your Clockwork Gnome would be safe. But that's not really great value. Now, this Emperor Thoris Sun means that you will actually get turn 7 Force of Nature, Savage Roar combo. He should play this Emperor Thoris Sun. It would also make Sylvanas cheaper for turn 7. You could combine her with the hero power. Yep. And the 5-5 body is not bad. Double reversing switch is bad. They do absolutely nothing onto this board except buff this Mana Wurm. Dr. Boom won't be able to come out anytime soon. Shredder, Annoyatron. Those would stop those minions from the board being a threat to you. But on the other hand, you want to get rid of the Emperor pretty badly.
I wonder.
Do you use the 4-4 to go for the Emperor with the hero power and then just drop the Shredder and go for the face with your own Wurm? I think that would be the best play, because You do not want to leave Tower Stone up for any time longer than necessary. Even one turn with the Druid is very, very good. And very strong for the Druid.
What to do? What to
It's a strange situation where you're playing Mech Mage and you actually want to go for the trades, but in this situation you would want to go for the trades.
Time runs out on me.
It seems, yep, Winch agrees with my analysis of the situation. Even goes so far as to take out the 2-2. Well, I don't agree with that part. He should have used the 3-3 to go for the face damage, because the 2-2 is not really a threat right now. Not in any sense of the word. Sylvanas hero power, and with this hero power he'll be able to take out the mana with him. Yep, that is an option. Is it a risk? I don't think it is. Because even if the Sylvanas is taken out by the Pilot Shredder hero power, then Sylvanas will still mind control the Death Rattle from the Shredder, because the Shredder's Death Rattle drops first. So a Neutron would be pretty great. With a Tinkertown Technician that's 5, combined with the hero power, 7 mana. Or just Dr. Boom. You don't want to be going Dr. Boom against the Sylvanas though. Stun the Spore? This means he wants to flood the board with small minions and maybe go for the Sylvanas trade. Hope that the 50-50 chance goes onto the boar and not the spawn from the Shredder. Okay, so if you're going for the board right now, then you're just giving this Amani Berserker away. You should, if you play the board, then first attack with it at least. Yeah, there we go. It's a 50% chance that it takes the board right now. Nope, the better minion is lost. Neutron into Tinkertown Technician. It's a bit unlucky considering that the Mani will actually enrage off of the Neutron. And, well, Cenarius can be used for the 2-2 taunts. Would this be lethal next turn? With the Force of Nature combo? These 2-2s will die, that's not a question. There's 10 damage on the board. 10 plus 14 plus 4 is 28. So 2 damage off lethal with the Force of Nature Savage Roar. That's 7 mana. 1 damage with the Shapeshift if the 5-8 and 5-2 stay alive. Wow, that's pretty trippy. Blast Mage? That would mean Clockwork Gnome, Blast Mage hero power. Reversing switch before Blast Mage? What are you hoping to accomplish except boost their Cenarius? Well, I guess the 4-4 can now trade into the Cenarius. Yep. Definitely want to play the Clockwork Gnome. There's no reason to hold on to it right now. Okay, if you're gonna reversing and then go for the Amani clearing, then there is a reason, but left with just a 5-4 against a Druid that hasn't played any swipes or anything. Okay, defensive Force of Nature. I guess that is the only option for random right now. Because had he left that 5-4 up, he would face a situation where he was left at 8 hit points. That's just a single fireball hero power and you're dead next turn, so I guess you were forced to use it. Big Game Hunter knows its spot. Even the armor plating will not be able to save Dr. Boom from certain death. Unlucky for Winch that the BGH draw for random was just 1 turn before. So if random takes this, he will actually take the series 3-1. And although Winch was in a situation where he was looking very, very strong for this matchup, it might end up being in favor of random. Let's see where the bomb hits. It's just 1 damage and just at the minion. It's not that lethal. He'll have to play the Big Game Hunter after this. Yep, there we go. And then the Shade. This develops the board into such states where pretty much anything that Winch plays down, random will be able to answer. Mechanical Yeti, Fireball, Hero Power. One could argue for it. Holding onto the Fireball in this situation, it means if you top deck into your second Fireball, and even if these minis are gone, you will have lethal. But random, I'm sure random can see that in this situation he has to heal. He just has to heal and clear out the board as efficiently as he can. Is there a way to deal with the Mechanical Yeti without losing at least 2 of your minions? If you shapeshift the Clockwork Gnome, then you're at 16. And 16 is just out of range of anything that the mage can throw. So it's safe to kill the 2-1 with that, and then utilize your existing minions to... If you want to go for the winning play, you use your existing minions to go for face with all of them. With absolutely every single one of them. Leave the 4-5 up.
Time waits for no one.
And kill the 2-1 with your hero power. Yep. This way, he'll push you to 12. And if he pushes you to 12, then the only thing that he can draw, which is an out, is the second Fireball. So here, 1 in 17 chance. Either win the game or lose the game. Nope, it's not a second Fireball. And this means that random, unless that's a really spectacular unstable portal, and it is not, the Druid of the Flame is underwhelming to say the least, will be taking the series with his Savage Roar combination onto this existing board. Oh, well, with the Winch removal of the Shade, is it enough? It's actually not enough anymore. Reversing switch on the big Game Hunter to make it just 1 attack value. Alright, that's interesting decision. Double Savage Roar, is it enough? That's 4, 6 times 2, that's 12. 12 plus 3, it's exactly lethal with the second Savage Roar top deck. GG, well played, and congratulations from me goes off to random. He walks home with 50 euros and 10 WCS points, while Winch goes home with just 5 WCS points. I thank you for watching this broadcast. We are brought to you by Fraktio.fi, a Finnish web services developer. And my name is indeed Markus Olodyn Koskivirta. We are the Hearthstone.fi Finnish Hearthstone community. I hope you join us next week as well. I hope you had as much fun watching as I had casting. Until then, keep playing more Hearthstone.